Hi. Okay, that's the intro. Hi. um, Welcome to TAW Gaming, JoshAgeddon's WrestleMania 41 predictions. I, of course, am JoshAgeddon here to give you my WrestleMania 41 predictions. WrestleMania is in a couple days, which is crazy. It's always weird when we get to this time of year and it's just like, yo, WrestleMania is in a couple days. Both of them, both WrestleManias. WrestleMania quote unquote Saturday. I'm still calling it night 1 and night 2. I'm not doing the WrestleMania Saturday, WrestleMania Sunday thing. You can take your branding and you can stop that. Stop that right now, young man. So yeah, we've got night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania 41. Of course, night 1 is going to be Saturday, night 2 is going to be Sunday. We still have SmackDown tonight, and we might have another match added, but I'm just going to go with what the card is right now. I have it on Wikipedia right in front of me, but I'm sure like if they add some kind of Randy Orton match to night 2, that I might make some kind. I'll put a comment and pin it if I remember. For my predictions of what might happen in that. But so this is the way we're going to do this. I'm going to go through each match on both shows, both nights, and I'm going to give my prediction for what I think is going to happen and what I want to happen. So 2 predictions. What I want to happen, what I think is going to happen. But before I really get into it, I just want to go off on a little bit of a tangent real quick. Concerning the build to this WrestleMania, because I don't know what the most compelling feud has been during this build to the road to WrestleMania 41. Has it been Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, the triple threat that's main eventing night 1, or Triple H versus the internet? I think that's been the biggest feud thus far. People on the internet who think they can book better versus WWE and the people that are enjoying the show. There has been so much whining and complaining and bitching and moaning about this road to WrestleMania. Me personally, it's a mixed bag. There are some weeks where the shows are absolutely fantastic and the segments to build up WrestleMania are great. Like the whole Cody Rhodes John Cena promo. Basically anything CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins do, especially when the 3 of them are in the same ring together. That awesome segment between Gunther, Jimmy Uso, and Jey Uso, where Gunther basically murdered Jimmy on TV. It was the passion of Jimmy Uso. You have those great moments, and then you have some weeks where just kind of nothing happens, and it's just another episode of Raw, another episode of SmackDown, and you're just like, last week was so good. Me want more. Why not you have me want more? Me want more. So I would say it's a mixed bag. Some weeks feel way more significant than others, but there are people that are just like, this is the worst WrestleMania build of all time. And that sentiment is so pervasive, especially like basically ever since the Rumble. There have been people that have basically thrown out this entire WrestleMania since the Rumble, which my immediate knee-jerk reaction was not a positive one when the Rumble happened, because I was not happy with Charlotte Flair or Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumbles. But I personally, a big part of it is me just going, let's just wait till we are actually at WrestleMania to judge the whole thing. As like from the Rumble to Mania. Has it been perfect? Absolutely not. Again, I still very much do not like that they had Charlotte win. And I still am not super crazy about the fact that Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. Those are things I don't agree with. But there are people that are like, this road to WrestleMania sucks. WrestleMania 41 is DOA. It's a glorified house show. And I'm just like, you people are ridiculous. You people are absolutely ridiculous. Like, do people not remember the build to WrestleMania 31? A WrestleMania that a lot of people look back on with rose-tinted glasses. I'm not a big fan of WrestleMania 31. I mean, it wasn't a bad show, but there are a lot of things that I did not like. The build to WrestleMania 31 was atrocious. That was the one where Roman won the Royal Rumble back in 2015, and everyone hated it. And then he turned around and beat Daniel Bryan and made people hate him more. So, that was at Fastlane 2015. So, there have been way worse builds to WrestleMania than this one. This one's kind of just middle of the road. Which, a lot of it, and a lot of people even said compared to last year, the road to WrestleMania last year was so intense and interesting, and it was mostly because you didn't know where things were headed. You didn't know where things were going. And it's also, but last year, they were paying off multiple year-long storylines all in one go. Plus, you had The Rock trying to lob a grenade into the WrestleMania plans, and then the fans turning on and rejecting it, so they had to course correct. Yeah, things are not going to be as intense and just high caliber as last year, because even though The Rock did jostle around with some plans, and I do think the reason why a lot of the build happened the way the 41 build has happened so far is because The Rock can't decide whether or not he wants to be a wrestler or a Hollywood actor in movies that are, giant box office bombs. The Rock needs to absolutely decide whether or not he wants to be in WWE or in Hollywood. At this point, I'm like, dude, pick one. Pick one. You can't do this half-assed, 1 foot in one world, 1 foot in the other. No, pick one, Dwayne. Pick one and stay there. And I honestly cannot wait till The Rock retires. I'm going to be so irritated if he does not even appear at WrestleMania 41. If we just don't see him again until the build to WrestleMania 42 starts, when he's all like, "Oh, remember WWE, I'm important. Remember, I'm important." That's when I'm going to be all right. I'm going not as much. Shout out to Skylar Greenberg. He's the biggest Dwayne hater of me, Sean, and Skylar. I'm not going to completely jump into that camp, but I will be edging closer and closer towards that position if The Rock is just not involved for the rest of this Mania season. Especially considering what he did at the Elimination Chamber, which I still think was fantastic. But again, I think a lot of fans just love to complain and whine and bitch and moan endlessly, and it's very, 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 very annoying, and it makes it hard to enjoy anything because you have to contend with a bunch of, "This sucks. This isn't the way I would have done it. Why don't you love me? Why do you want to make bad wrestling?" And honestly, over the past couple days, Triple H has basically been shitting all over those people, basically been shitting all over the IWC, and I approve of it. I appreciate it. I very much agree with a lot of what he's saying. Basically, people think that they are critics, and it makes them incapable of enjoying things. That's very true. That is very true. And that's very funny considering that me and my friends have wrestling podcasts where we review wrestling shows, but I'm still capable of enjoying a show. For me, I am a fan first, a quote-unquote critic second. I don't even like referring to myself as a critic. I'm just a fan who has some opinions on certain things. And, if I enjoy something or if I don't enjoy something, I'm going to say something about it. Especially on this public forum that is my YouTube channel. But I'm not going to be there are some of the YouTube podcasters that I listen to where they kind of act like their opinion is the word of law. I hope that I don't come off as one of those people. I mean, for God's sakes, I talk all the time on just constantly about how much I don't like AEW and how much I think they suck, but there are a lot of people that watch my YouTube videos who like AEW, and I'm totally fine with that. I don't agree, but they're free to like whatever they want to like. You will never see me here on my soapbox with my megaphone proclaiming that my word, my opinion, is the rule of law. It's just my opinion. And again, I don't even I so do not like referring to myself as a critic because that word has such a negative connotation with me. But anyway, I'm going off on a huge tangent. But basically, fuck the IWC. And I agree with Triple H. So people just need to calm down and wait till we actually get WrestleMania 41. I honestly hope that WrestleMania 41 is a fantastic show both nights, just to shut up people. All the people that are this road to WrestleMania, I'm just not feeling it. It doesn't feel like WrestleMania. I just want those people to shut up. I really do. Because it's really making it hard to enjoy anything. With the constant whining, negativity, and again, I'm not saying you have to like it. I'm just saying that there are people that go out of their way to find things to complain about, and it's very annoying. But now I'm going to get off my soapbox and actually get to the predictions now that we're 10 minutes into this. Alright, so, night 1 of WrestleMania, the card as it stands. I'm going to start with Gunther and Jey Uso because I've heard, or at least it was announced, I think, yesterday, that that's going to open night 1. So, Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. What do I think is going to happen versus what do I want to happen? What do I think is going to happen? I think Jey Uso is going to win this one. He's already lost to Gunther 3 times. That's the backbone of this whole story. Jey Uso is stupid over. Like, as much as the internet disagrees, people go crazy whenever Jey Uso comes out. People love Jey Uso. Especially casual fans. And he sells a ridiculous amount of merch. So, I think that they're going to try to ride this thing out, and Jey Uso is going to win the World Heavyweight title. Now, what do I want to happen? I would love it, because a lot of people are predicting that Gunther is going to absolutely destroy Jey Uso and retain. That's kind of what I want to happen. I would love for Gunther to retain, because Jey Uso, I'm sorry, is not World Heavyweight Championship material. Like, there's a reason why this is jerking the curtain. Jey Uso has the most unfitting nickname of all time. Main Event Jey Uso. Well, you're jerking the curtain for WrestleMania, so I think your moniker is a little bit in doubt. But I'm not gonna get pissed if Jey Uso wins. I just want the match to be good. And Gunther and Jey have had good matches in the past. Like their match at Saturday night's main event at the beginning of the year, that was a very good match. They are capable of having good matches, mostly because of Gunther. But I do like the chemistry that these two have together. I just don't want this to be a dud. I don't want this to be another Jey versus Jimmy from WrestleMania 40 situation, which I actually rewatched that match the other day. And that match actually did start, it started off fine before it devolved into just super kick warfare and just nonsense before it just fell off a cliff. So, for Jey Uso's sake, I hope that this is the best match of his career. I don't want this to be a dud, because if it's a dud, then this whole thing will just be a giant waste of time. And then if the match is a dud and he wins the World Heavyweight Championship, then it's just going to be just an absolutely lackluster title reign. And one thing that I do want, if Jey Uso is going to win this, which I think he will, as much as I want Gunther to retain, I want... This is going to be weird because they're going to be kicking off WrestleMania. And you'd think you would save something like this for later on in the show, but I kind of want Gunther to bust open Jey Uso like he did Jimmy, and then Jey fight through, the Crimson Mask and win the title that way. That's something that I think could work. But doing that in the opening match of WrestleMania 41, I don't know. If it was later on in the show, then I would probably do that. But since it's opening, I don't know. But I would love to see Jey Uso covered in blood beating Gunther just barely after a good match. That would be the ideal scenario. I still want Gunther to win, but I'm pretty positive that Jey Uso is winning this matchup and he's beating Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. Gunther does deserve better. He does deserve better, but these are the cards we've been dealt. All right, now I'm just going to go through the rest of the card as it is written before me here on this lovely Wikipedia article. The War Raiders, Eric and Ivar, defending the World Tag Team Championships against the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. What do I think is going to happen? I think the New Day are winning the tag team titles. They need something. Like, they were so hot as heels right after the turn on Big E. And it's one of those things where Triple H has been doing this a little bit. since his tenure started. He has a great idea to kick something off, but he doesn't exactly know where to go with it, so it just kind of peters off a little bit. That's what happened. That's what's happened with the New Day. They had that awesome angle where they turned on Big E, and they had some great follow-up, but then I think what hurt the New Day more than anything else is they just kept losing matches, and that kind of made the crowd not see them as much of a threat. But then they started winning matches after they lost some of their heat, and now they're just kind of disliked. It's not anywhere near the levels of heat they were getting a couple months ago, but they're still getting a little bit of heat. I'm not going to sit here and say that the heel New Day is dead, because I don't think it is, because they still get reactions. It's just the reactions are more tepid than they were. But I do think they absolutely need to win the World Tag Team titles, because if the New Day loses to the War Raiders, then they're pretty much done as far as this heel run is concerned, and they'll just be a mid-card tag team. Oh, I am getting a phone call. I will have to pause this recording, and I will actually I want to get some of Andy's perspective on what this is, because Andy's calling me. Hello.
Hi, Joshy. What are you up to?
I'm recording my WrestleMania predictions right now as we speak.
Oh my goodness, am I going to be on the show?
Yes, very briefly.
Slay. I'm just walking to my last class.
Okay, so
I'll let you go.
You're gonna go. I do want to ask you one question. Who's winning, John Cena or Cody Rhodes?
Cody Rhodes.
Oh, okay. So Andy's pick is Cody Rhodes. We'll see how that goes,
That's
Andy.
What I want.
All right. I'll talk to you later then. Okay.
Okay. It was nice to talk to you for a second.
It was nice to talk to you too. I love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. That was a fun little interruption. So Andy has Cody Rhodes winning. We shall see. We shall see if that is how it unfolds, but I will get to that much later on in this video. Back to this tag team matchup. I think the New Day are going to win the tag team titles. They absolutely need to. What do I want to happen? I want Big E to return to cost them the match. That's the one way they could lose and them not lose all credibility. But as much as I want that to happen, I kind of just feel like that would... I just don't know if that would go anywhere. It might be too little too late, considering they haven't really had much follow-up with that. I don't know. I would love for Big E to do something to get involved with this somehow. To get one over on the New Day, like the New Day are trying to cheat and they're about to win, and then Big E returns and does something for a big pop. That would be cool. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think the New Day are just going to win outright. Through dirty tactics or some nefarious circumstance. Or they might even win clean. They might win clean. I don't know. Moving on with the card, we have Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. Which is totally not Chad Gable. I'm not going to lie. I hate this El Grande Americano nonsense. I don't know why, even with the administration change, WWE is convinced that Chad Gable is nothing more than a comedy act. It's honestly kind of infuriating. Like, I so badly wish that they had Chad defeat Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship last year instead of Sami Zayn. I love Sami, and they had a fantastic match. I rewatched it the other day. I rewatched Night 1 of WrestleMania 40 the other day, and it was. I still think that's a good show, despite Sean and Skylar's objections to that night, which I have here in my filing cabinet. Oh, wait, that's my paper shredder. My bad. But I don't know what they're doing with Chad. I don't know why they went this direction with him, but I have no interest in it whatsoever. Chad Gable could be a upper mid-card to possibly not a main event guy, but kind of like people have called Triple H the guy that works with the guy that makes the money, the guy that works with the draw. That could be Chad Gable. I don't really see him as the tippy top guy, but one of the guys in that conversation. He literally could be their Kurt Angle. As much as they wanted Gable Steveson to be their next Kurt Angle, they already have him in Chad Gable. But they keep giving him comedy shit. Like El Grande Americano, and I hate it. So I'm not super crazy about this particular match. It's going to be good because it's Rey Mysterio and Chad Gable. It's going to be good, but I wish they had Chad doing something more substantial than a goofy El Grande Americano American luchador gimmick that I just think is beneath him. This whole thing is beneath him, in my opinion, and I just feel like it's a waste of Chad Gable. But I'm looking forward to the match. The match will be fun, but what do I think's gonna happen? I think El Grande Americano is going to win. What do I want to happen? I want this to not happen and it just be Chad Gable. That's what I want. See, I'm going with El Grande Americano to win. I'm not super crazy about this. Moving on, we have Jade Cargill versus Naomi in a singles match. I don't know what to think about this as far as like what we're going to see, because Jade is still kind of green and Naomi is not that great as far as in-ring. So for the sake of both of them, this should go as shortly as possible, because if they try to have like an extended match, I think it's going to be bad, because Naomi is not capable of carrying someone to a good match, and Jade is still kind of green. So this better just be some kind of like a couple minute long squash. What do I think's going to happen? I think Jade's going to win. I think Jade should win. Naomi doesn't really have that big of a ceiling because, again, she's not the best particular worker, and that is one of her biggest hindrances. I mean, people have wondered, why aren't they going with Naomi when she went from TNA as Trinity back to WWE as Naomi? They gave her like a teeny little mini push, but they never really did anything with her. I think it's her lack of decent in-ring work that kind of hurts her, but that's just my opinion. I think Jade Cargill is going to win this match, and I think Jade should win this match. So what I think is going to happen and what I want to happen, I think that is what's going to happen. I could see Naomi getting some kind of cheap win over Jade. I personally wouldn't do that because I see way more. I don't see dollar signs with Naomi. I see dollar signs with Jade Cargill. Jade could absolutely be a star in the future. So I think that I don't think losing to Naomi, if Naomi cheats or does something underhanded to win, would hurt Jade in any substantial way. But I do think her having a singles win at WrestleMania is kind of important. I mean, she has the six-woman tag win from last year in one of her first matches, but I do think she should win this matchup. Moving on, this is going to be an interesting one. LA Knight defending the United States Championship against Jacob Fatu. Okay, what do I think is going to happen? I think it's very possible that Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga are going to try to interfere to help Jacob, but it's going to backfire and lead to LA Knight getting like a flash pin, like a schoolboy roll-up to retain the title against Jacob Fatu. I think that's what they're going to have happen so they can have Jacob Fatu break up with the Timu bloodline, and we're going to get I think with Backlash we might be getting Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa, where Jacob finally breaks away from him and starts doing his own thing. Jacob Fatu is over and has the potential to get even more over. So what I think is going to happen is LA Knight's going to win because of a botched interference from Solo Sikoa that's going to end up harming Jacob, leading to them wrestling, and then Jacob's going to come back, and at a later time, that's when Jacob is going to win the United States Championship. I think that's what's going to happen. What do I want to happen? I want Jacob to just straight up beat LA Knight. I want him to beat him clean. What I would do, Jacob Fatu wins clean and realizes, I did this by myself. I don't even need Solo. Or Solo tries to interfere and it backfires, and then like Jacob makes Solo leave, and then Jacob defeats LA Knight, and then Solo turns on Jacob, and then that's how we get going with that. I would prefer them just have... I don't want Jacob to lose his first WrestleMania match. And I like LA Knight, but I don't think they should have had him lose. In retrospect, since they had Shinsuke do absolutely nothing with the U.S. title, I don't think they should have had Shinsuke defeat him at Survivor Series, now that I think about it. I was in favor of it at the time because of Shinsuke's new gimmick change, because I thought they were going to do something with it, but then they did absolutely nothing, so it kind of just felt like a giant waste of time. But I think it's time the LA Knight parts with the US title, even though he just won it about a month ago. So, but I don't think that's going to happen, though. I think that they're going to go with Solo accidentally screwing over Jacob. I want Jacob to win, but I don't think he's going to. Up next, Tiffany Stratton defending the Women's Championship, the WWE Women's Championship, against Charlotte Flair. I'm not going to lie. As all of you know, with me, Sean, and Skylar, we are allowed one skip per show. I'm skipping this match. I never want to see Charlotte Flair wrestle ever again. I hate this woman. She is probably my least favorite act in WWE. I'm over it. She did not deserve to win the Royal Rumble. She does not deserve 10 of the 14 world championships she has won in her career. She does not deserve hardly anything that she's been given in WWE. And her most recent run, the one good match that she had that was actually really, really good was that match against Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 39, which was over 2 years ago. And I know she was gone for the entirety of 2024, but in my opinion, that's part of what made 2024 a really good year for WWE. Charlotte Flair was not involved whatsoever. That is a substantial quality improvement, in my opinion. And of course, as soon as she comes back, she immediately wins the Royal Rumble for no reason other than she's Charlotte Flair. And her being so rattled by how much the fans despise her is both hilarious and infuriating to me. She thinks that she should be loved because she's been drowned in championships because her last name is Flair. And I hate this woman. Tiffany Stratton deserves better. I'm not watching this match unless Tiffany wins. If Tiffany wins and I hear that this match is really good, I'll go back and watch it. Which, that's what I want to happen. I want Tiffany Stratton to win this match, because she absolutely needs it. But I 100% believe that Charlotte is winning this match. I think Charlotte is going to win because we live in the worst timeline where people in WWE, for whatever reason, think that this mannequin that somewhat looks like Charlotte Flair is worth something, even though she's really not. She is the absolute worst thing in the WWE as a whole right now, because she's holding down the women's division as she is wont to do in the way only she can manage. She has such severe nuclear go-away heat. Not just from me, but for so many people. But I do think WWE is going to stubbornly put another championship on her just to pad her resume, because Flair, something, 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 woo, look at my Botox. So I'm going to hate it, but I'm not going to watch it, because I think Charlotte's going to win. If Tiffany wins, I will go back and watch it. Unless I hear the match is terrible, then I might. If the match is good and Tiffany wins, which she should, because she deserves it, Tiffany is so much better than Charlotte, and Tiffany's still a little green. She still needs more experience, but she's so much better than Charlotte. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that Tiffany still looks like an actual human. Who is this alien that calls herself Charlotte? But anyway, enough making fun of the woman who's mostly plastic now. To our main event of night one, the triple threat match with nothing in particular on the line except maybe Paul Heyman on a pole. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. This one's kind of tough, not gonna lie. But what I think is gonna happen and what I want to happen is another scenario where they align. What do I think is gonna happen and what do I want to happen? I think and I want Paul Heyman to get sick of and fed up with both Punk and Roman and walk out. Leave the match. And while Punk and Roman are like, but Paul! Why, Paul? Why? Seth is going to take advantage and pin probably CM Punk. Seth is going to pin CM Punk because of that. Paul Heyman is going to walk out and Seth is going to pin CM Punk. That's what I think is going to happen, and that's what I want to happen. Because I feel like that makes the most sense. I feel like that would be the most interesting way to end this thing. Especially if Jey Uso is winning the world title, or if Gunther retains. I kind of want to see Seth Rollins challenge for the world title at Backlash. Or whatever. The next pay-per-view of the World Heavyweight Championship is going to be defended. I want Seth Rollins challenging for that. And I want him to use, like, I won the main event of WrestleMania Night 1. That triple threat match with Roman Reigns and CM Punk. I want that to be his excuse for why he deserves this world championship. Plus, he's the inaugural champion. And he was the best champion. As much as I love Gunther, the best reign with that title so far has been Seth Rollins. So I think and I want Seth Rollins to win because Paul Heyman walks out and a distraught CM Punk and Roman Reigns get caught unawares by Seth Rollins. So that's what I think's going to happen, and that's what I want to happen. So those are my predictions for Night 1. Now we're moving on to WrestleMania Night 2 on April the 20th, this upcoming Easter Sunday. We're starting that off with the match that I absolutely do not care about the most for Night 2. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defending the absolutely useless women's tag team titles against Bayley and the women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria. What do I want to happen? I want this to be over as quickly as possible. I don't care. I don't care who wins this match. So I'm not giving a want. I don't want this to happen. I mean, I'm not going to skip it because I do want to see what I want to watch Lyra because I really do like Lyra Valkyria. I'm kind of over Bayley and how I feel about Liv Morgan and the human interest vacuum that is Raquel Rodriguez. My opinions on those two was well documented, but I love Lyra, and that she's the only reason why I'll be watching this match. I think Liv and Raquel are going to retain. Lyra already has a title. I don't think they're going to put two titles on Lyra. So yeah, I think Liv and Raquel are going to retain. I don't care about this match. Moving on, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I think this could be a potential weekend stealer, but this is another one. I don't know what they're going to do with this one. Logan Paul won at WrestleMania last year, so I think he can afford to lose this year. AJ Styles hasn't won a WrestleMania match in a while. He hasn't won since he beat Randy Orton at WrestleMania 35. Last year, he lost to LA Knight. My thing for this match, the thing I hope for the most in this match, is during this match, I hope none of the lights in the arena blind a portion of the crowd, because for the past 2 singles matches that AJ Styles has had at WrestleMania, his match with Randy Orton at 35, well, 2 of his... It always happens to AJ at WrestleMania when he has a big match against someone. He had that matchup against Randy Orton at 35, and he had that big match against LA Knight last year at 40, where some of the lights in the arena were just shining right in the eyes of fans, and the fans started loudly chanting, "Turn off the lights," or something about turning off the lights or turning on the screen or something, like they couldn't see. We can't see. We can't see. My main hope is that does not happen during this match, because it makes me think that AJ Styles is cursed. I think AJ Styles is going to win this match, and I want AJ Styles to win this match, because AJ needs another WrestleMania win, in my opinion. Because, again, he doesn't win at WrestleMania very often. I'm still a little salty about him losing to Chris Jericho back at 32. His first WrestleMania. He should not have lost that match. But it's very possible that Logan Paul could win this match, but I think and I want AJ to win. So, going with AJ on both counts on this one. This upcoming match, I'm very much looking forward to this matchup. Braun Breaker defending the Intercontinental Championship against Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio in a Fatal 4-Way match. I know this is going to be Sean Skip. Shame on you! Tisk, tisk, tuh! How dare you! I'm very much looking forward to this matchup because just look at the talent in this match. There's so much talent in this matchup. What do I think is going to happen? I think it is very likely that Braun Breaker is just going to straight up retain by pinning either Finn or Dominic. That's what I think is going to happen. But there is a possibility what I want to happen will happen. What do I want to happen? I want Dominic Mysterio to pin Finn Balor to win the Intercontinental title and to basically just detonate, to implode the Judgment Day. It is way past time for the Judgment Day to break up. Ever since they kicked out Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, that group has kind of just not been anything. Other than, why is Carlito here? And wow, JD McDonough has balls of steel and a punctured lung. So I want Dominic to win by pinning Finn Balor, just so they can break up the group, because they've been teasing it for a while. Or to at least kick Finn Balor out of the group. They're either going to break up the Judgment Day or kick Finn Balor out. And after that, Finn Balor needs to go away for like a year. No one cares about Finn Balor. I mean, one of his nicknames on social media is Pin Balor because he always loses. I think Finn needs to go away for a little while. I love Finn Balor, but no one takes him seriously. And I don't blame him because he never wins anything. It is rare that Finn Balor wins a match. So I think I would love for Dominic to win that way, but I think Braun Breaker is going to retain. It is very likely that Braun retains. Up next, we have a Sin City Street Fight. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. This is an interesting one. What do I think is going to happen? I think that Drew McIntyre is going to win. You want to talk about someone that needs a WrestleMania win? Drew McIntyre needs to win this match, in my opinion. Because he got screwed over because of Money in the Bank last year. He lost the Triple Threat Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania 39. The most recent person that Drew McIntyre has beaten in a straight-up one-on-one match at WrestleMania is Baron Corbin at 38. Yes, he defeated Seth Rollins last year, but he beat a half-dead Seth Rollins last year, so that barely counts. And then he lost the world title 5 minutes later because of Money in the Bank. He needs a definitive WrestleMania win, and I don't think Damian Priest needs this win. So I think Drew's going to win, and I want Drew to win. And honestly, I'm not going to lie. I like Damian, but I don't see him as a big priority. I just don't. He's honestly becoming more of a utility player to me anyway. He's one of those guys that's just kind of there. Plus, he's already eliminated Drew from the Royal Rumble. He's already eliminated him from the Elimination Chamber. Drew needs to get a win back. So I think Drew is going to win this match, and I want Drew to win this match. Up next, we have Io Sky defending the Women's World Championship against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match. I think this is another potential show stealer, potential weekend stealer. The potential for show or weekend stealers there's more of it on night 2 than night 1, I would say. But I think it's kind of obvious that Io Sky is winning this match. For one, Bianca Belair is on SmackDown, and she still has this thing going on with Jade and Naomi. So I don't think Bianca's winning this match. And Rhea Ripley just lost the title to Io Sky a couple weeks ago. So I think it's fairly obvious that Io Sky is going to retain. I think Io's going to win, and I want Io to win because I love Io Sky, and she deserves to have a WrestleMania moment by winning a big triple threat match to retain the Women's World Championship. That's what I think is going to happen, and that's what I want to happen. And now moving on to our main event of night 2, the main event of WrestleMania 41. Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against John Cena. Oh boy. What do I think is going to happen, and what do I want to happen? I could easily see Cody Rhodes just beating John Cena like Andy predicted. But I think John Cena is going to win this one. Furthermore, I want John Cena to win this one. Heel John Cena winning the WWE title, I just feel like would be fantastic, especially at this point. And I do think that we should be getting heel John Cena defending the WWE title against a babyface Randy Orton in St. Louis at Backlash. So, I think John Cena's going to win. I could very easily see them just having Cody win and speeding up John Cena's redemption arc. I don't want them to do that, but I could see them doing that. But I think John Cena's going to win this one, and I think he should. But I'm very interested, more than anything else, to see how this plays out. I have no idea what they're going to do. I think John Cena's going to win, but I don't know how. Something is going to happen during this match. I think that something could go down during this main event. I don't know what, but this main event, Cody Rhodes and John Cena, is the match that I am the most interested in because I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea what to expect going into this matchup. But I do think it ends with John Cena winning his 17th world title. So, and I guess one final WrestleMania prediction, because they haven't announced Randy Orton versus anybody yet, SmackDown is still going to be happening tomorrow. I keep thinking that today is Friday. Today's Thursday. They still have SmackDown tomorrow, where they might announce Randy Orton's match for Night 2. But I'm going to give a little prediction. We might be getting Randy Orton versus Malachi Black, or Aleister Black. Maybe. It could be Nick Aldis, but it could also be Aleister Black. We shall see. But those are my WrestleMania 41 predictions, ladies and gentlemen. Comment down below. What do you think is going to happen? What do you want to happen? Do you think the build of this WrestleMania has been ass? Or do you think people on X are just assholes? Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to all of the nonsense that I post on a regular basis. Also, today, I published a matchup over on Rumble. The TAW World Heavyweight Champion Liu Kang going one-on-one against XTW's Anderson Silva in a non-title inter-promotional match. Go over and watch that. And be looking forward to our big WrestleMania review. It's going to be here on TAW Gaming, me, Sean, and Skylar. It's also going to be over on the Court Martial Podcast. And we also published some more episodes of the Court Martial Podcast. Me and Sean did an episode about the current state of wrestling. Him and Skylar did another episode about it, getting Skylar's perspective. So a whole bunch of stuff to watch, to listen to, and to be looking forward to. But make sure to stay subscribed. Turn that bell to all if that even does anything anymore. And all of that fun stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Later, everybody.